Hi, my name is Ron Peterson, and I'm the co-chair of Isaiah's Northeast region that's organized this event, and also a member at Galilee Lutheran Church in Roseville. I'm old enough to remember when no one asked what's wrong with the schools, or how do we fix our schools. I remember 5 great teachers that I had who challenged and inspired me, and they set my life on a better path, a path that took me to college in California, graduate school in Illinois, a career as a scientist and promotions, and eventually my dream job, leading the research and engineering in one of Minnesota's largest corporations. Back when I was in school in California and Illinois, I never doubted that I'd return to Minnesota because of my mother's faith and the sense that this place, Minnesota, and the people here, like my great teachers, cared about one another. So eventually I got my dream job. And one of you might get yours, being governor. It will mean meetings from morning to night, a stream of lobbyists, special interests, and highly partisan voices. So I'd like you to think about how you will listen to, collaborate with the ordinary and extraordinary people in a room like this to create a better Minnesota.
Hi, my name is Machi Arbro-Wright, and I'm a 9th grader at St. Bernard's Catholic High School. Recently, we were given the terrible news that St. Bernard's would be closing after 119 years of tradition in the community due to financial problems. This news shocked everyone, especially me. I had been going to St. Bernard's since preschool, meaning I had never been to a different school. I was afraid and lost, not knowing what I was going to do for next year. Besides from all of the friendly faces and familiar places, the one thing I'm going to miss most about St. Bernard's is public achievement. Public achievement is a program in our school where a group of students, guided by a teacher or a coach, comes together to work on public projects that we are passionate about, whether it be homelessness, child abuse, or animal cruelty. Since I am passionate about politics, I decided to help start an Isaiah group at St. Bernard's, and here I am today. Public achievement is just one great way that youth can get involved in today's society by accomplishing our goals with people in power. So here's our question. The people of faith and the youth in this room have great ideas to help build a better future for our state. How can you co-govern with us? How can you inspire us?
Comes to government. I still believe that government can be respected and that it can do good while doing well. Too often today, I think the grown adults in our society, as well as the youth and the students, look at government with a distaste in their mouth, and for good reason, frankly. They're cynical. But I think back to my time in high school, and I had a great conversation with these 3 students prior to our forum today. But I think back to a class, I grew up in Winona, took a class while I was in high school at one of the local universities, a political science class with a professor named Jim Eddy. Jim was a little crazy, still is to this day. Told me I was crazy to run for governor and then wished me the best of luck. But what he did is he brought this passion and an idealism and a thought that government can do well, but we have to be involved. And so to your question, how would I work with not only the youth, but people who are older than students in high school and college? I would, number one, work to restore by working hard and bringing heads together, butting them from time to time at the legislature. Work hard to restore some sort of civility to state government, so it's not so partisan, so there's not so much bickering, so there's not so much cynicism among the people. I would reach out to students and say, here's how you get involved. You get involved with small steps. It starts a little at a time. It can be from a political standpoint. More importantly, I think it can be from a religious and volunteering standpoint. It's something I try to instill in my sons. We volunteer once a month at the Dorothy Day Center in St. Paul, and they get a chance to see and feel good about volunteering. So it starts small, and that's how I would, as a leader, continue to bang the drum and encourage more of that.
Thank you, Mr. Hahn. Senator Dayton.
The question is, how would I co-govern with you? And the answer is gladly. A governor appoints so many people to his or her office, to agencies, to boards and commissions. And so many of them now, frankly, are headed by people who don't believe in the mission of those agencies or other public services, at least as I define those missions. By people who have run or been appointed on the ideology the government does everything badly, and then when they get into office, they go out to prove themselves correct. They either defund the programs, or they destroy the programs, or they reverse the missions and purposes of those agencies. And I find, as I said, traveling over the state the last couple of months, such a disconnect, so much distrust among people, especially as they get farther removed from the capital in St. Paul, because they feel the government doesn't care. They hear an arrogance, unwillingness to support, to recognize, as one man said, Wood Farmer, our walk the land common sense. So I want to bring people into government who share my passion for making government work better on behalf of Minnesota. The theme of my campaign is for a better Minnesota. And that means better government. That means better services. That means better leadership from people who care about other people, who believe that public service is about serving other people. Leaders are servants, and servants are leaders. I want to bring young people in who have the idealism, who have the willingness to go to work, who have what I had when I started out some 21 years old, when my political hero Robert Kennedy was murdered in front of my eyes. That passion, that zeal, that sense that if my political hero will give his life for his country, then that's what I'm called upon to do. That's what my dear friend and colleague Paul Wellstone did, along with his wife and daughter. Be willing to put your life on the line for the causes you believe in. I welcome all of you with that kind of commitment into my administration.
Thank you, Senator Dayton. Mr. Davis.
The Minnesota government is arrogant, and they don't care. I've been working the Capitol for the last week or 10 days with the Davis Money Plan, going down there and run by the DFLers, who will do anything that a Republican like myself, and I call myself the Republic Man, the new face of the Republican Party, with consideration and compassion and caring and great ideas and a lifetime of dedication and service. So you go down there, and I said, can I see it? Well, if you ran your business like they run that legislature, changing the meeting time, this bill is in, this bill is out, we won't hear your bill. They are just a bunch of arrogant, non-caring people, unless it's their special interest buddies that have brought them something that they'll deal with at every level. I don't care if they're super liberal or super conservative, but if I'm the governor, then I'll behave a little differently, because I'm the guy that's going to be the final signing off on the legislation. So it's really miserable to go down there and try to work with these people, wait outside their offices, begging and mooching for them, when all they think about is we're going to bond. Well, you know what a bond is? It's a promise to pay. Well, what's the collateral that they put up for the bond? You. You're the collateral, your children and your grandchildren. The money that they're going to make is what they use to pay the bond. So when they called the New York bonding outfit and said, we need $650 million, that's the conservative Republicans. And the other guys say, well, we need $1 billion. Well, they're both idiots. The Republicans are stupid for borrowing $650 million, because what happens to debt is when you add the interest, the debt grows, but it doesn't increase the money supply. So you need somebody in office that's going to run this state. That's the governor's job. He's supposed to manage the money for the state. We're all in line on the protection of unborn babies, the right to carry guns, the support of the United States Constitution, good education for everybody. But if you don't get the money right, you got nothing. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Davis.